This morning, just after 11 a.m., officers were dispatched to the 7500 block of West Glen Rosa on a report of a burglary from vehicle. Two of our officers arrived on scene, and they saw a male pacing back and forth in the street, acting very agitated. We learned that that male had broken the window of a vehicle across the street and was now in front of his own home here on Glen Rosa. Officers contacted that subject. They were not able to get him to calm down. He was holding a knife and was waving that around. We have one male officer, one female officer on scene. One of the officers used a taser and deployed that taser. That did not have any effect on the suspect. That taser was deployed a second time, again with no effect. The officer with the taser then took the taser from her partner and attempted a third time to control him with that. At this point, he just became more agitated and charged at the officers with a knife. The other officer fired his weapon and struck that suspect. He was taken to a hospital. He has been pronounced deceased. We are just getting underway with this investigation, so we expect our detectives to be in the area probably for the next 5 to 6 hours.
Now, you say that he was acting, you would say, agitated and coming back and forth. Do we know if he could have possibly been on any sort of drugs at the time? Or?
That's a definite possibility. We don't know what was going on at the time, if he had some kind of substance that was impairing his behavior, if he had any mental health issues. This is something that we all hope to learn during our investigation.
Were there witnesses to this?
Yes, there were. We had both the people that were victims of the car breaking in, and I believe a family member was also outside with the gentleman that we shot.
Did they know who this guy was? The person who owned the vehicle that was broken into?
That I don't know. I know they live across the street from each other, but I don't know if they know each other.
Last thing you want to do when you go on all these calls is have to pull that service weapon.
Yeah, it's something that we try to de-escalate. Anytime we have a situation like this, we really try to de-escalate by talking to this person. We attempted 3 times using our electronic control device or a taser because in the end we do want a safe resolution and we just want to get him in custody. Unfortunately, he made a movement that put the officers' lives and safety in jeopardy, and we did have to use our firearms against him.
What about the neighbors in the area that were you guys talking to help that happened? Someone talking to them to help them with the emotions of seeing this?
You know, that's a good point, Rick. Witnessing something like this can be pretty traumatic. And I know our detectives, once we talk to them, we will ask them or, let them know that, hey, if they're experiencing some kind of trauma or some kind of uneasy feelings, that we do encourage them to go talk to somebody about this.
They deployed 3 tasers. Any idea why these didn't work after 2 times?
Well, there's many variations. Sometimes depending on the clothing, if it's thick clothing, sometimes they're not as effective. Sometimes if the probes do not get a large enough spread, the taser could be ineffective. Also, if that person is on any type of drugs that are just heightening his senses, sometimes they can work through that and the electronic control device is not effective.
Bottom line is officers tried every measure to get this ended safely and it just didn't work out.
Absolutely, and of course that is our goal, is to have everyone be safe at the end of the day, and unfortunately this was one of those times that just didn't happen.
Talking about the weapon, the knife, do we know how big the knife was?
I don't. We have recovered a knife here at the scene. It's still here. It looks like a long knife, but the exact size and style of knife, I'm not aware of that. Obviously, we'll be getting to that in the next few hours during the investigation.
The officer fired, was it just one of the officers that fired at the suspect?
Yes. So what we do is we go up with lethal force and less than lethal force. And it's always our desire to take somebody into custody without using any force. If that's not possible, we will try to go to a less lethal means, which would be our taser. And then, so once the taser was ineffective, the officer that had deadly force is the one that opened fire.
Shot how many times?
I don't know the amount of times that were shot.
Do you know the age range of this one?
I know the suspect is 23 years old. I don't have the ages of the officers just yet. The male officer is the one who fired his weapon. The female officer is the one who fired her taser.
You know the ethnicity of this suspect?
At this time, I don't. I don't have any identification on him at this point. That's something we hope to learn here very shortly.
Was he transported? Or was
He was taken from the scene to a hospital and was pronounced deceased upon arriving at the hospital.
Are you guys able to, do you know, was this, you know, a homeless individual? Was this somebody that had been seen wandering in the area? Do you know any of that?
Well, I know his family lives here, and we believe that he lives here on the street as well.
Okay, so he just wasn't like coming back or anything like that?
Not that we're aware of.
Okay.
Again, we'll find out more later, but at this point, I believe he lives here in the neighborhood.
Send us out an email later for.
Yes, I'll send out an update with more details, probably in the next 3-4 hours.
Did they say how long this had taken from the time the officers arrived to when?
So it was about 11:12 when the call came in. Our officers arrived on scene at approximately 11:20, and then the call went out for the shooting at 11:26.
Pretty much a walking barricade until he was subdued.
Well, yeah, I guess not a barricade, but kind of a standoff, I guess. But yeah, we were really attempting to negotiate with him during that 5-6 minute time.